ask you all to give an offering right now. This isn't going for us, it's going for Tiz. This is going for a miracle. So everybody pull out $1 or $2. I want everybody to get involved with this. $10, $100, whatever you feel like God would lay in your heart. And the reason we're going to do this is 5 years ago, we went to Haiti for the first time. Haiti had just gone through a terrible earthquake. All of Haiti was destroyed. And a guy calls us up. I don't know, to this day, I say this all the time. I don't know how he got my number, but I know it was a God thing. And he said, Pastor Huch, you don't know me. I'm in Haiti, and I have 17 tons of food that we can bring into Haiti, but it's stuck in Miami if somebody would pay to have the food come down. And I said, I'll pay it, but I'm going to come down there and make sure you're doing what you say you're doing. Because, cheat me once, shame on you. Cheat me twice, shame on me. And I believe if we give to something in missions, it needs to go where it's supposed to go. And so myself and Luke, my son, and Pastor John and Pastor Scott, we went down to Haiti. We were down there about 4 or 5 days and made sure the food got there. You've never seen anything like this. All of Haiti is crushed. Everybody's homeless, dead bodies everywhere. And to go 20 miles would take 4 hours to get through the rubble. And it's just not like nothing I've ever seen. I've been all over the world. And so we're actually on the last day that we're flying out, we actually were cooking meals. People were living in plastic tents and paper, cardboard and stuff. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. Kids are roaming naked on the street crying, parents are dead. And we're giving out food that day, and this lady, she's a doctor from Haiti, she said, Pastor Larry, what time's your flight? And I said, well, not for about 6-7 hours. And she said, well, can I show you something? And she took us to this place where this little pastor had a little building, and he had gone down because people were going down in the streets and taking these 2- and 3-year-olds and 5-year-olds that parents are dead. I mean, it's just mass chaos. And they're selling them into, you can imagine what. And so he had gotten about 52 kids. The church wouldn't let him, the church organization wouldn't let him put in the church. So these kids, we looked under a hole about this big, and these kids were under they're living under metal sheets, and their skin was all rotting off, and they're starving. And no water. And so I was standing there, and God spoke to me, and he said, build an orphanage. And I'm going, God, I don't have a penny. The church was really going through hard times. We'd made some stands against officials that are pro-abortion. We had 3,000 families walk out on us. And God said, build them an orphanage. So I asked the guy, I said, what would it cost to build this orphanage? And he said, well, a guy with us from there, and he said, probably $30,000 or $40,000. $140,000 later, we built him an orphanage. Miracle, I'll tell you the story sometime of the water coming in. And so we're going back there, and we're taking care of these kids, and we're preaching back there, and we meet a gentleman started coming to our church, and he's getting up on age, and he'd been there 28 years. Had another orphanage, but he didn't have the health to raise funds to keep it going. It was in very much disarray. So we took on another orphanage and put toilets in and got them water and got them a kitchen where they could cook and build shelters for them and took these kids in. Well, when we went down there, Loren and Tonya said, Pastor Larry, we feel like God wants us to adopt one of the kids. Can you find us a little boy? And so, do we have a picture of them when we first saw them? And so that's Kingsley, and I can remember exactly where we were when we were just building a kitchen that they could cook food. We're building a place they could eat. We're just trying to get water in, and I sent Tonya and Loren a picture. I said, "Here's Kingsley. What do you think?" They immediately responded, if we could have him, we love him. I said, there's a catch. Being a Jew, I go for the extra. And I said, he has a sister. And they said, we'll take them both. And so for 5 years, and I made a pledge to Tiz. We found out that it would cost about $10,000 to get Kingsley in. And I knew that was stretching for themselves to do the right thing. But God says, he who saves one life, God sees you as you've saved the whole world. And I said, when they finally get the babies in, we'll take up an offering to pay for the other one. And 5 years and $45,000 later, I want to introduce to you the newest members of New Beginnings, fresh from Haiti, Friday night. Come on up. Kingsley and Tia. Who is that up there? Look at that. Who is that up there? Who is that up there? That's you. That's right. How many think it was worth the 5 years they had to go through? Oh, I can remember the first time I saw these guys. She was so little, and we had just, because of you and our partners, we just built them a kitchen. We had dug another well, got them fresh water. You would not believe what these kids have experienced. And because of you, them and about 150 kids now today down there that we have are fat and happy. And I can remember when we first put the toilets in, they're sticking their heads in and everything. I know, wrong end. Showers, bunks, clean beds. They came in Friday night, and Margaret was saying that Saturday morning their whole family comes together and has breakfast, and they ate waffles for the first time. But they were sitting at the kitchen table, and it's glass. And all of a sudden, Kingsley, and he realizes, I can see my hand under there, and to see his reflection and everything. And when I told Tiz, I said, I want to take an offering for him, but it's just your birthday. She goes, what better gift can I have than we help these kids and our family here with a destiny? So I want to ask you to give as the ushers come, and we'll count it and give them a check. But how many believe if you save one life, God sees it if you've saved the whole world? Amen. And so thank you for helping us with the orphanage. We can't get them all in, but we've got two. But you're making a difference.